Good morning, great Americans. It's another great American video from Kentucky. So, considering what's going on with these illegal aliens that the Democrats are so in love with, they love any criminal, anybody who's illegal, anybody who hurts America, they love. They don't like the hardworking American citizen who's trying to support their family. That's who Trump supports. The Democrats will always support the illegal, the criminal, the anybody who's they will always choose the wrong side. But considering what's going on today, I want to revisit an old video. Now, before you continue this video, I'm going to put a link in the description to this video, a video called "The Plantation Then and Now." It's called "The Plantation Then and Now." It's a PragerU video hosted by Candace Owens. It first premiered in 2021. It's a few years old, but it doesn't matter because it's about history, right? It's the truth, and it doesn't change. So it might as well be new because it's an excellent video. And I want you to watch that video before you continue watching this video. Please, it's only 5 minutes long, and you need to see it before you continue this video. The video is now I know there's going to be some of you who don't bother to do it. So basically, it talks about the plantation. Just to tell you a few lines, it says in the first half of the 19th century, 4 million blacks worked as slaves. They were imprisoned on the plantations in the American South. And the owners of these plantations were, without exception, Democrats. Before the Civil War, slave-owning Democrats, they used black bodies to increase the number of votes that they get in Congress in the Electoral College. That's where this crazy thing about the three-fifths compromise came up. So that a Democrat in Georgia who owned 5 slaves got 4 times the representation as a single white abolitionist, say, in Pennsylvania, who didn't own any slaves. So even back then, not only were slaves and doing the work, but their bodies were being used for political power and political gain. Nothing has changed. So watch that video. Again, watch that video and then pick up on this. Okay, so I'm going to assume now that you've watched the video. And nothing has changed today, as you saw at the end of the video. Blacks have always been used by Democrats for nothing but power and gain, because in the end, the Democrat Party is what it has always been: a party of hate, a party of slavery, a party of divisiveness, a party whose only end is its own power. It is literally evil. And now their agenda is just so between, the whole woke thing and pronouns and transgenders and grooming children in school and you name it, they're evil. But I want to tie this in with this, again, like I said at the top of the video, the illegal alien who Van Hollen went and visited in El Salvador, and all the illegal aliens just that Biden let in for 4 years. Millions and millions of people coming in, using up this illegally. It is so funny. It's so funny to listen to the Democrats whine and cry and holler saying that Trump deporting illegal aliens is somehow illegal. Now all of a sudden they seem to care about the law. But while Biden and the Democrats were illegally allowing illegal aliens to pour in, they didn't care about the law. See, they're always on the wrong side. But anyway, here's the point. But once again, bodies and power. They don't give They don't give a damn about the illegal aliens, just like they didn't give a damn about their slaves. That's why they invented the KKK after the slaves were freed. They don't really care about them. They wanted the bodies for power. That's what they want the illegal aliens for. For one reason, they realized that today's modern uh, Black American is no longer buying into the Democrat lie. It only took a few generations after the civil rights movement for blacks to move up in the economic system. And when you move up, you got skin in the game, right? You're making money. That means you're paying taxes. That means you own houses and you're paying property taxes and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, maybe there's something to what these Republicans are saying about taxes and smaller government and getting out of my hair. I'm trying to open a business and I got tons of regulation. I'm trying to own a house and the taxes are insane. So more and more blacks are becoming Republican. In fact, it's a trend. It's a slow trend, but we have seen with the last few president elections, and that scares the hell out of the Democrats because the Democrats need those black bodies. It has been said before that if for some reason 25% of the black population switched to Republican, and I'm not talking just for one or two elections or some anomaly. I'm talking just permanently made the switch. Boom, I am now a Republican. That would be the end of the Democrat Party. This has been known among political analysts for years, and it's happening, and it's scaring the shit out of the Democrats. And that is why they opened the borders to allow illegal aliens to come in to vote. Now, some naive person out there might be saying, well, what good does that do? Because it's illegal aliens can't vote. Please, man, pull your head out of your ass. There is more voter fraud going on, more on now than ever. And states like New York are actually legalizing illegal aliens to vote, if you can imagine it. But I mean, so many blue states are literally breaking the law across the board. That's why they got their sanctuary city. That's what it's all about, man. The bodies and the power that the bodies and the votes bring. That explains everything. Because without that, you'd be having to ask yourself, it doesn't make sense, right? Why do they want illegal aliens coming in, breaking the law? Why are they trying so hard to defend and justify illegal aliens being here? And why are they attacking Trump so hard simply for enforcing the law? Right? When you deport an illegal alien, all you're doing is enforcing the law. It's like somebody breaking into your house. Someone breaks in the back window of your house, you throw their ass out of the house. But not the Democrats. Apparently, if someone breaks into a Democrat's house, they're like, "Oh, I'll make you some dinner or something. Here's some free money and some free food or whatever." So that's what it's all about, is the bodies. And yes, they are finding ways to allow to allow illegal aliens to vote, whether it's overtly, like in New York, or whether it's in a back door when they have these drive-through sort of get your license and vote all at the same time, right? And people are getting, and we see now Doge has discovered tens of thousands of illegal aliens with fake social security numbers. Come on, man. Put your head together. So that's what it's all about. And this is a continuation of the PragerU video of how blacks have always used, Democrats have always used black bodies strictly for power. And what I'm throwing in here with this video is same goes for illegal aliens. It's that they never change. Democrats never change. You think that the old Democrats of the slavery party and Jim Crow and segregation. You think that party's gone? That big lie that they switch sides? That's bullshit. The Democrats are still the party of racism and using and breaking the law and using bodies strictly for power, using them up, chewing them up, and spitting them out. Look at look at all the black people still in poverty in the terrible inner cities run by Democrats. They use them for the votes, and then they spit them out. They keep them in government housing and food stamps or whatever. The poor people in the inner cities. But like I said, that's changing, right? And that scares the Democrats. And so now comes the illegal aliens are the next. Oh, and who was the woman? Oh, God, I should have got her name. The black. Oh, and this going to bring me to my next topic, which is sort of related. Now, this next topic is going to be very controversial. You're going to call me a racist, but it is true. And here's the bridge into the next topic. The black woman, I can't remember what her name is. She's a congresswoman, the one who's been making all the racist remarks, talking about white people and white people in Congress. And what's her name? I can't remember. She's so rude. She said that they need they need those people because they're done picking cotton. I think that's basically what she said. But see, what is more revealing? It's the mindset, and it doesn't matter what color you are. She has the Democrat mindset that you use bodies. She doesn't want to pick cotton no more. She never picked cotton in her life, but that's beside the point. But she's happy to have another race do it. The irony. I mean, you would think that someone who cries and moans and bitches about their ancestors being slaves would be a little, sympathetic or empathetic to other people who are essentially in slavery. I mean, look, when you're in a shack, when you're living in a shack on some farm, getting paid 10 cents an hour to pick tomatoes, you're essentially a slave. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't matter whether you are or not. I mean, but in reality, it's like being a slave. And she's happy, and they're happy to have that. They're happy to have that. What does that tell you? So, but anyway, but that brings me into the next thing. Now, someone might say, well, gee, Terry, if the Democrats are if they're still the party of the KKK and slavery and stuff, then why are there so many more black Democrats and black Democrats in Congress and all that stuff? I'll give you the answer. Like I said, it's going to sound racist, but it is the truth. Democrats, actually, both parties do this, but Democrats do it in a far more evil way. They scout. You know how big college sports teams, they send scouts out to like high schools and they look for the good high school player and they try to bring them in to the college. The political parties do that too. They go into the communities and they try to actually find people that they think, for whatever reason, might be a good candidate, and they say, hey, what do you think about, the Democrats did do this. The Republicans do it because they're looking for good people. The Democrats do it for a very racist and evil reason. They look, I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. They look for stupid, ignorant black people who will help them enforce policies that hurt the black population. And they're basically looking for house slaves. Almost every black Democrat congressperson is no better than a house slave. And they're stupid. And that's a fact. I'm not saying black people are stupid. I'm saying that the Democrat Party, look, there's stupid people in every race. I mean, let's keep it real, right? There's smart people, there's brilliant people, there's stupid people, there's retarded people. That's the reality of the world. There's smart people and there's stupid people. And they come in every color. Okay. But the Democrat Party seeks out stupid people who happen to be black to put into Congress. You don't believe me? Who is the current chair or a co-chair of the Democrat Party who's recently been in the news? Now, this guy's white, but it's the same thing. David Hogg. Who is David Hogg? It wasn't but a couple of years ago that David Hogg was a skinny, pimply, snivelly, crying little bitch who ran away when he heard some gunshots. This was a kid in school. There was a school shooting. And now, if I heard some shots, man, I'd be, because I mean, I'm used to having guns around, and that shit don't scare me, you know. And if I heard shots, I'd be trying to figure out what the hell's going on. This little bitch just ran away like the coward he is, and went and cried to his mommy. And the Democrats picked him to be the face of their anti-gun movement, right? And he's a stupid kid and doesn't know any better. He's a moron, but they picked him. And now, a few years later, now that he's in his 20s and he's more of an adult, they made him the chair or one of the co-chairs in the Democrat Party. This is what they did. They went in, they found a loser, they pulled him out, and they groomed him. First, they gave him something small to do to be part of the anti-gun. Now he's on the Democrat Party, whatever, council or whatever, chair, whatever you call it. Soon they'll try to make him a congressman. That's what they do. Now that's a white kid, but in the black community, they do that en masse. In other words, they do that in every state for tons and tons of people. You don't believe me? I'm going to put a link to a video in the description of this video. This is a video of a black congressman. It's the damnedest. This is one of the greatest videos of all time. If it wasn't so sad, it's kind of funny, but it's sad. This is a video of a black congressman. Now you look at him and you think, oh, you know, he's got gray hair and might be a smart guy. Dumb as a fucking retard. It's unbelievable that this man is even in Congress. He is speaking in a congressional testimony. There's military guys, and they're talking about the Navy and the military on the island of Guam. And this black congressman asks the military guy, he asks him if he thinks if there's so much military equipment and people on the island of Guam that the island might tip over. I mean, and don't you dare try to excuse this and think, oh, he's just speaking metaphorically or something. No. You watch the video. This fucker is dead serious. And the military guy looks at him for just a second. You can see the wheels spinning in the head. He's trying to gauge, yeah, this guy's serious, and he gave him a serious answer. I think he says something like, no, we're not in danger of the island tipping over. He tries to keep his cool. He tries to keep his poker face on, right? But inside he's thinking, God, this man is a fucking dope. He was afraid there was so much military equipment and men on the island of Guam that the island might tip over. I ask you, can you think of anybody or anything more stupid, pathetic? I mean, stupid is not even a strong enough word. I can't think of the word strong enough. It's like stupid times 1 million. But that and David Hogg are my two examples of what I'm saying. The Democrats, they find stupid people who happen to be black, and they groom them to become congressmen, and that is a fact. Why else would black Democrats in Congress support for years and years, support policies that hurt black people. They hurt black people. They have kept the black man down since the days of slavery, the KKK, the Jim Crow laws, the segregation, and then later with you keep they give them food stamps and public housing like it's dope. It's like the dope man, and you give them poor education so they can't advance. And even though many blacks, as I said at the top of this, have overcome that, and they're moving up and they're leaving the Republican Party, it's a generational thing, and some are still in it, right? But anyway, my point is back to the original thing. You watch the PragerU video and you see how the Democrats have used black bodies for votes. That is, and I'm telling you now with this video that that's exactly what their plan has been all along with illegal aliens. Allow them to pour in. There's like 40 million. 40 million. There were approximately 10 million slaves. There are now approximately, think about this for a minute. There were approximately 10 million slaves. There are now approximately, well, let's be nice and say 30 millions. 30 million illegal aliens. And the Democrats are counting on them to be the next voting bloc. That's why they kiss their ass. That's why they're willing to make themselves look like idiots by kissing their ass. They need the voters. Because that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Okay? That answers all your questions. Why are they kissing their asses? Why are they allowing this to happen? Why are they playing to the and you know what I just said doesn't even address the fact of how racist the Democrats are, because they're so racist they don't even realize it, but they're assuming that by kissing the ass of this illegal alien in El Salvador, that somehow they're playing to the Hispanic community and that's going to get them Hispanic votes. Now, how racist is that? They are assuming that a certain race, Hispanics, are going to sympathize with an illegal alien who snuck into this country illegally, probably a gangbanger who beat his wife. Do you see? This is the real racism, not the fake, phony racism like Archie Bunker sitting on a chair that they try to accuse Republicans of being. This is the real, insidious, evil racism that the Democrats have always been a part of. And so basically, what's happening with illegal aliens today, letting them in, trying to get them to stay here, trying to make them sympathetic, is a continuation of what of what Democrats did with blacks and the freed slaves, of using their bodies for power, but not giving a damn about their lives and about how it affects the rest of the country. Because the Democrats cannot run on their policies. Have you ever heard a Democrat get deep into tax policy or foreign policy, domestic policy, trade policy, immigration policy? No, because their policies suck. All these people who are burning Teslas and blowing up Tesla plants, ask them to articulate. Take one and say, can you please articulate the Democrats' tax policy or the Democrats' foreign policy? No, they don't know anything about policy. The only thing Democrats have to run on is fear and hate. So I made a couple of videos about that. Check them out, about Democrats are the party of fear, and that's and the party of racism, and that's what this is all about. So once again, if you've made it this far in the video and you didn't check out the PragerU video, Now go to the link and check out the review and put two and two together and see what I'm talking about. So anyway, thank you very much. Please subscribe to our Substack page. I'll put that link in the subscription to this video too. Please like and share this video. Please share this video. I'm not making money on the video. I just want you to share it. And I will see you in the next great American video. Adios, muchachos.